Move Sally back, or Saturday, I should say. Oh, I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alive! Where you going, Lovey? Huh? Oh, you got a headache? Are you okay? Oh, I'm alive. We got to set everything up like 8 minutes early. Sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't connect. Hey, I'm alive. Ah. All right, let's see. Bondo. Ah, that's not good. All right, let's pop out the chat. Let's get this party started. All right, there we go. Nope. There. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, I'm alive. All right, let me let's put some music. Make a couple of I'm making my adjustments as I normally do. That looks about right. Oh, that looks about right. Popped out the chat. Let's get a little bit of background music, I guess. Yep, getting everything ready. Terrible news about Avicii. Terrible news. Psych. I don't know. I don't know. Here we go. So I'm setting up the chat. I'm basically I'm diving into this live stream. Kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I mean, this week has been really, really challenging. I was about to say it's been the worst week ever, but it really hasn't. I mean, that would be kind of superficial. It's just it's been rough. It's been a rough week, and I'll explain all of that here in a minute. We got 7 minutes till we technically go, live, but but yeah, yeah, terrible news about Avicii. All right, let's see. We got this music here. I always like to have something in the background while I'm working, but anyways, welcome to the Friday night live stream. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is Bot 10 Art, and yeah, I I kind of teased it a little bit on Instagram earlier today. I've been missing for the whole week, and the reason why is because I guess I should start at the beginning, but anyways, 2000, I want to say like 2011, I scratched the cornea of this eye, and it was extremely painful. If anybody has experienced that, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's extremely painful. I scratched my cornea this way, and had to go to the ER. You know, they put the dye in your eye. They put this numbing agent in your eye. And they use a black light so that they can see where the scratch is. And then they give you this ointment and so on and so forth. But long story short, it takes about a week. When you scratch your cornea, it takes about a week for it to fully heal. Let me kind of adjust the camera there. There we go. So yeah, it takes about a week for your cornea to heal, and it's extremely painful. And I don't know if the experience is different for everyone, but for me, you can't just like close one eye and, you know, kind of get around. For me, it's when it happens, I have to have both eyes closed. So I spend a couple of days, you know, immobile, in the sense of not being able to do what I normally do. So last Saturday, I woke up, and I felt something, and my first instinct, of course, was to rub my eye. And in doing so, I scratched my cornea again in the same eye. And I'm real sensitive to this sort of thing because, like I said, when it happened in 2011, it was the first time it ever happened to me, and it freaking drove me nuts. I couldn't do anything. And so I'm always very careful, very sensitive. A lot of the times I get like protein buildup in this eye when I sleep and stuff like that. So it's a process. In the morning I have to put drops. I have to wash it all out. I have a couple of things that I use. And then, you know, remove all of that so that I don't scratch my cornea again. And for some reason that morning I woke up and instinctively, just before I did any of the washes or anything like that, I just kind of, oh my God, you know, I have something in my eye, bam. And this time it was circular right on my pupil that I scratched my cornea. So that puts me out for about a week. I spent that was last Saturday, so I want to say Sunday morning around 2 a.m. I couldn't take it anymore. So I went to the ER and they put in the numbing drops. It's like, I could open my eyes. It's instant relief, but it doesn't last very long. They put the dye in your eye. They use the black light. Oh my God, you know, you scratch your pupil. And by that time, of course, I already knew what was happening. So they gave me some medications, and I mean, of course, the staff was really fantastic. They did a great job. But they gave me some medication that had an adverse reaction. So my eye swelled up, and it was irritated, and it wasn't getting better, and it didn't feel like the first time that I got it. And and so Tuesday, I couldn't see anything. Sunday, Monday, I had my eyes closed. My wonderful family had to do a lot of stuff for me. Of course, my room was completely dark. My laptop was down all the way to the most minute light because everything was light sensitive. I couldn't have any lights at all. Just looking at my phone was painful. And you know, at that moment I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this again. And as a person who is, you know, I'm an Aries, so I'm full throttle all the way. Like, you know, I work and work and work and work, and I do a project here, and I'm fixing something in the house, and I'm helping my beautiful queen, and, you know, everywhere, all the time, always going, always something. And to be told that you can't do anything. Keep your eyes closed. Keep adding the medication. They took away the first 2 medications that they gave me, so I have this ointment that I use. Lay in bed and do nothing. It's the most frustrating thing. So that's why I say it, you know, this week has been very challenging for me, because literally that's all I can do until that glorious moment where it's like you could open your eyes and It still stings. It still, you know, burns. It hurts. Um, but you could open your eyes, and you're like, oh, this is fantastic. It's great. I can get to work. I can go right back to it. 3D printing and making props and doing stuff, and couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So Wednesday, and this is the thing. It's so killer for me, and I don't know if other creative people go through the same process, if they feel the same way I do, but I felt like something was gone, you know. And it was different than the first time, because the first time, yeah, I was, you know, I was creative and I was doing things, and it was a lot of artwork. So I was in the middle of doing shows and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that I was working on was already done, and it wasn't really affecting me as much. But this time around, it's like, no, I got the live stream. I have these props I'm making. I gotta finish the Batman. I'm 3D printing stuff for people. You know, just today, my friend Viet reached out to me, and he wants me to do some casting of some figures, some heads, action figure heads and stuff like that. And I was like, yes, I would do them. Because I was itching. I was just like, I have to create something. I have to do something. And then just to sit there and like have my eyes closed. I have a small Roku that's attached to my TV in my bedroom, and I connect to that with my phone, with my headphones. So I just lay there in the dark, listening to TV shows. And I know I'm kind of rambling on, but I kind of want to get this out. But so yeah, I'm just laying there in the dark, can't do anything, can't help anybody in my family. Listening to shows, like listening to TV shows, all kinds of crazy hours of the day. I wasn't resting right, until it starts healing. It takes a week for it to heal, and so that's why I say it was a very challenging week for me. And I hope I really did learn my lesson this time, and I don't rub my eye again and screw it all up. But yeah, I could tell you that just sitting around doing nothing is not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. I like to keep it moving. I like to, you know, and it like the timing was all crazy. Thursday was my daughter Sophia's birthday, and you know, Daddy, are you gonna make it? You know, and of course tomorrow we're gonna celebrate her birthday at a skating rink that we'd love to go to. And you know, I know your eyes hurt. If you don't have, you know, you don't have to make it to my birthday. And I was like, I'm going to this thing, you know, I'll be there no matter what. So it was challenging for me to just kind of to go through all of that. And at this particular time, it was devastating. So I'm really happy I'm back. So and this Friday night live stream kind of ties it all down. It puts everything in perspective for me, and I'm so thankful and grateful that I'm able to see. I'm able right now, my vision is still kind of blurry in that eye. I'm about like 98% healed. I went to the ophthalmologist today, and they rechecked my eye. It healed, but it's still very sensitive, very very sore. The muscles around my eye are sore. There's still some swelling and stuff like that. So getting past all that, you know, I'm kind of moving forward from all of that. So needless to say, my week was really challenging, and I'm just glad that I'm back to normal. And then of course, you know, I can't thank my wife enough. She helped me through all of it. She made meals for me. She helped me do all the things that I would normally do on my own. Took me to the doctor's appointments, took me to the ER, all of that stuff. My kids, they've been incredible this week. taking care of daddy. Where normally it's the other way around, you know, daddy takes care of everything. But yeah, so I was debating on whether to do the live stream or not. I'm currently working on Sophia's prop for MegaCon, and I do have it here. So this is a styrofoam ball that I made a hole in the bottom and painted it with acrylics, with basic Liquitex acrylics, so that I could apply Bondo on top of that. And I want to show you guys that process of how I make props that way. And you know, during the week I had this idea of doing this because of course MegaCon is coming up and I'm kind of running out of time. But all the commissions came to a stop. Everything came to a stop, and I was just like, I gotta get past this. I gotta do something. But unfortunately, you're at the mercy of time and your body healing the way that it has to heal. And of course, with all the crazy things I do, it was funny because I use power tools, I use all kinds of stuff. I always have eye protection with me. It's like, it's always the dumbest thing, you know? It's like, none of that gets me. But, you know, just me waking up in the morning, but I always do have safety goggles and of course gloves and everything else. And I'm usually really safe. I'm really safe. So it's kind of it's kind of a kick in the can when you damage yourself doing something so minute, like something simple. You get hurt doing something simple. It's like a kick in, you know, kick in the nards. So yeah. But just like everything in life, yeah, there's bad times and there's good times, and you got to go through the bad times to appreciate the good. And I certainly do. You know, not a moment goes by where I'm like really happy that I'm able to do all the things that I do. This live stream and just all the commissions and all the artwork and everything that revolves around my life. And yeah, I feel great. Yesterday was the first day where I was like, all right, I'm back to normal. Yes, I'm back to normal. But yeah, that was good. Yesterday was, like I said, yesterday was the first day where I actually felt back to normal. And I said, okay, I'll move forward with the live stream, because I was going to put this on hold. I didn't know how I was going to feel. I didn't, to be honestly, I really didn't feel like doing the live stream. But then something changed inside of me and said, you know what? Yeah, talk about it in the live stream. And when it happened, I said, okay, well, if I'm not healed by that time, I'll just do the live stream with the lights off. With the lights off, and we just talk about stuff and kind of engage with you guys. But thankfully that didn't happen, and we get to do something pretty cool tonight. Of course, I'm not going to fully finish this tonight because there's a whole process that goes along with it, but I do want to start it off and kind of give you guys a glimpse of what it is that I do. And then before we get into that, more importantly, I do want to say welcome to some new subscribers. We got some new subscribers to the channel, and if this is the first time you watch this and you're wondering what the heck this is all about, you'll soon discover that it's a really cool community of people that like to hang out on a Friday night and work on different projects, and everybody kind of tunes in to see what I'm working on, and it's great. So we have new subscribers, and I want to be the first to say welcome to the channel. I hope you guys stay for as long as you like. You know, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and tell me how you got here. Like, why did you get to the channel? Like, was it the 3D printing? Was it the props? Was it the artwork? I'm curious to know, because that way we can kind of talk about things that that brought you here. So yeah, so I'm excited. We're up to 67 subscribers for the channel. This is something, again, that I spoke of earlier. I didn't think the hey Friday night hangout, woo! This is something that was experimental. I didn't think it was gonna work out. I just wanted to challenge myself and do a weekly live stream on my channel and kind of go from there. It's growing, it's becoming its own thing, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm grateful that you guys make it happen, because that's how it happens. You know, you tell a friend and this and that, whatever, and word of mouth, and here we are. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, say thank you for joining my my channel, and if you enjoy it and you like it, and you see something that you're interested in, or maybe a friend of yours will be interested in, yeah, make sure to let them know. Make sure to let them know that we do this every Friday night. So with that said, tonight we are working with Bondo. Now Bondo, let's see, if you don't know what Bondo is, Bondo is used, it's basically all-purpose putty. All-purpose putty, but hey, what's up? All-purpose putty that's used in the automobile industry. So, like, basically, you know, fender benders and stuff like that, they kind of use this to rebuild bodies, like rebuild car bodies and stuff like that. But it is used in our industry when it comes to prop making and stuff like that. It is really cool. It's sandable. It's sandable within 15 minutes. And it says that it repairs metal, wood, drywall, concrete, and masonry surfaces. So, so it's not, you know, now, of course, Bondo is expanding, I guess. So it's not only for automotive, but it's for other things as well. But I have used it several times before to create, like I said, props and stuff like that. So tonight we're going to kind of go through that process a little bit and kind of show you how I do that. So like I said, I'm working on Sophia's Star versus the Forces of Evil Star Wand. I have photo reference because I have no idea. I have no idea what it is. Can you see my eye? It's still red. Ah. But I assure you it's not painful at all. But I do have to keep like moisturizer drops and stuff here. So yeah, my daughter Sophie, she wanted to do some cosplay for MegaCon, and she wants to go dressed up as Star from Star versus the Forces of Evil. And this particular character has a wand. I guess that she can do spells and all kinds of stuff. I don't watch the show, so I was honest with her. I was like, I never seen the show, so I don't know what I'm making. But in the true fashion of any, you know, the true fashion of any artistry, if you have a client, no matter how big or small, in this particular case, it's my own daughter. And, you know, of course I use the word client loosely. She's not going to pay me for this. Like, but nevertheless, it's something that I enjoy doing. And of course, I'm never going to say no to my kids. But so she approached me with this project, and I said, okay, baby, you know, no problem, we'll get it done. So I started looking at the kinds of materials that I would need, and in this particular case, I found, actually, I'll show you what I found. So they have these everywhere. They have them in Michael's and all kinds of different places, but Walmart does have these foam 4-inch balls that I guess they could be used for arts and crafts, also for floral arrangements and things of that nature. So I got a 2-pack that came together. Not the wrapper, but 2-pack So anyways, this is one of them, and what I did is I cut it this way, hollowed out the middle, and then glued it back together using just regular hot glue gun. And then once that was done, I have a 12-inch rod, dowel rod that's made out of wood that's going to go into here, and some wings and all kinds of different things. But before I get into any of that, I have to completely Bondo this whole entire piece right here, so then I can sand it down. It could be primed, painted, and we move on from there. So he's got dos Pacs in Cuba. Is Tupac in Cuba? Is he? Is he? He's gonna make a comeback in Coachella. It's gonna be fantastic. Of course, he has nothing to rap about. He's been in Cuba for the past however many years. Yep. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he comes back or not. But yeah, going back to going back to this thing. If I was to apply Bondo onto this surface, it wouldn't work out too well. The Bondo tends to heat up, and of course, the temperature difference, or I should say that the temperature of the mixture, because it is a mixed product, it goes through a chemical reaction, it heats up, it starts melting this. So you kind of create a barrier around the piece that you want to Bondo using latex. So any kind of latex paint. I just happen to have the most color I had was black, so I just went ahead with that. This is the first time that I actually use it on this kind of floral foam, so I don't know what it's gonna do. It may still melt, but anyways, we're gonna try it out tonight. So Bondo comes in two parts. So you have the actual putty that's inside here, and in the top lid you have a catalyst, or a hardener. They call it a hardener, but it's a catalyst, and I will show you what that is right here. So basically the hey. So all right, so this is the cream. This is the cream hardener. I'm surprised nobody like warned me. Hey, you know what? Safety first. So PPE, personal protection. Oh man. Okay, so this is the cream hardener that comes along with Bondo, and if you usually it comes inside of here, but sometimes people tend to open these and steal this. Whenever you go to the hardware store to get Bondo. So I always open it to make sure that I have the hardener before I buy it. If in any case it slipped your mind or whatever, and you got home and you're like, all right, sweet, I got some Bondo, and oh crap, I don't have the hardener. It's not a big deal, because they actually sell the hardener on its own, and it'll be like $2 or something like that. But anyways, it says, warning, oxidizer, irritant, may cause allergic skin reaction. Yay, fun stuff. So kids, do not try this crap at home. So there's different kinds of hardeners. I know that there's one that's red tinted, and when you mix it together with the gray putty, it tends to turn pinkish, and that's the sweet spot. So when you see that sort of stuff, you're good to go. So what I'm going to do as far as Bondo goes, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to go crazy on this mixture. So I'm just going to mix up small batches at a time. What's that? Keep it away from your eyes. I know. Again, you know, I just finished like healing from my damaged eye, and I'm going to mess with crap that could potentially mess up my eye. Brains in there, people. Brains. Now, we should be okay. I have used Bondo before. And the key to Bondo is... Okay, so... A little goes a long way, in the sense of you don't want to mix a lot of Bondo and, you know, mix it all up and then try to cover the areas that you want. and expect it to do what you want it to do. So the goal is, in other words, if I'm to cover this entire surface with Bondo, I'm not gonna try to do it all in one go. So I'm gonna put a little bit in here and kind of move it around and stuff like that until it gets hardened. And there is a point where you can kind of, with an X-Acto knife, cut the high points on this particular thing. I might do the outside first, just to make things easier for the live stream. And but anyways, Bondo, when you mix the cream hardener with the putty, it will heat up, so you have to be mindful of that. I'm wearing gloves. I got my protection. Um, it's nothing too crazy. You just got to keep in mind that it does react, and you have a certain amount of work time with it. So you don't want to mix up a lot, and you'll see me working in small batches. Like literally, I mix up about that much, spread it, and it's like, okay, we're good. It dries, mix up another little batch, keep going, keep going, keep going. So it becomes a bit of patchwork, right? So you're doing small batches, small batches, small batches, and you can kind of start smoothing it out, because the problem is that once it dries, this thing is rock solid. This thing is so hard to sand down that you'll be there forever sanding, and you're going to hate yourself. And you're like, why the hell did I use Bondo? But if you do it right and you have a X-Acto knife nearby, then you can kind of shave down those high spots. And if you get down to the bare material that you're trying to cover, that's okay. You could always go back and add more. You know, as you're sanding, you're going to hit low spots. You could add more. You could prime it again, sand it down, all of that good stuff. So it's very forgiving in the sense that you could add and take away, add and take away, add and take away. But you don't want to mix this in large quantities. So tonight, I have some spare cardboard that I will be using for tonight's live stream experiment. And I'm gonna kind of go through all the steps how I would normally Bondo something. So there you have it. Nothing too crazy. Eye protection. Eye protection. That's the name of the game for tonight. So first things first, I want to get my cutting mat. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I do suggest that usually when I'm working with Bondo, I tend to work outside. Yeah, when I'm working with Bondo, I tend to work outside where it's well ventilated, all that good stuff. I have a fan over here that's going, so it should be okay, because it does give off a certain unique smell, and it's really funny because if you ever seen Apocalypse Now, the guy, you know, he comes out, he's like, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. And that's like a very iconic line in that movie. This is very similar. I love the smell of Bondo in the morning. So Bondo has a very unique smell. And anybody who has worked with Bondo will tell you, oh, that's Bondo. It's like when someone's cooking barbecue. You instantly know that someone's cooking barbecue because it has that aroma, it has that smell. So Bondo is no different. It has a very distinct and unique smell. I don't suggest you sit around and like, Bondo. I don't suggest you do that. I normally have a respirator that I use, and of course tonight I'll be talking, so I can't really wear it. And I'm not gonna be using a lot of it, because tonight I just want it to be like a demo and just kind of show you guys how it works, what it does, how to sand it, and all that good stuff. So I'm not gonna be doing a lot. I'm definitely not gonna do a lot. So I'm gonna flip the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'll show you how I create a small palette for the Bondo, and along with some, I guess, dowels or whatever. But they're made up a little mixing, like kind of like this emery board or whatever. but I make it out of cardboard so I could mix it all up and apply it to whatever it is, and you don't have to use popsicle sticks or wood or whatever else from the hardware store. So I'm gonna flip you guys over real quick, and we can kind of show you the work area of what it is I'm doing. So I got my cutting board right here. I have my cardboard that I'll be using. Here's my straight edge ruler, and what I do is I cut these small strips, and these small strips I will fold them in half, and then they'll serve as both the mixer stick and the application. So I'll show you real quick. So basically I make a few of these and then I fold them in half, and that should be rigid enough for me to mix it and then also apply it to whatever it is that I'm working on. So I'll make a few of these. I'll make a few of those and then mix the actual Bondo here, so you'll see how that works. I don't suggest you use any kind of brush or anything like that to apply Bondo. They do sell these squeegees that you could use. They have like these rubber squeegees that you could use to apply Bondo and kind of smooth things out. I have those, but they're in my shed, and right now the shed is off limits. There's just a lot of stuff in the shed that I have to go through and kind of organize. So I didn't go in there digging. But this will work. I did this the last time I had a prop that I had to Bondo, and I had to Bondo it in a hurry. And so I just started using this instead of using those rubber mats. Alright, so I'm at the point where I'm going to cut the mixing. It doesn't have to be, you know, precise measurement, but you know, something like that will work. Get all the scraps out of here. Out of here. And, you know, something like that will work. I'll probably cut it down a little bit. I don't have to, you don't have to, but something about a square piece, that's always better. I don't know. Alright, so there we have that. Are you guys kind of crooked? Is the camera crooked? Alright, so I think I'm going to leave this here for contrast, because everything is brown. Like the bottom is brown, this is brown, so if I did that, I think I might get, it's not too bad. Alright, never mind. Cutting board goes away. So this is obviously the prop that we're going to be using, the Bondo. We're gonna put the Bondo here. I'm gonna be using these little sticks, and first we're going to open said Bondo. It'll be great. This stuff has a really nice shelf life as long as you seal it. And I was just loosening the lid and I could already smell the fumes coming out of this thing. It is basically like it almost has like a gasoline smell. And I know it's like, are you serious? Get the hell out of there. But it's okay. So this, you know, this Bondo has been sitting around for a while. You can kind of see the chemicals in it have separated from the putty, but that's okay for what we want tonight. We should be all right. And it is exactly that. It's like a gray, gray putty. That's basically it. That's Bondo. So here on the lid, I have plenty for tonight's experiment. We're gonna put some right there, and I'm gonna close this so that we don't have additional fumes like killing me over here. So all right. Okay, so the can of Bondo is now sealed. Now, if you notice on the can, it does have all the instructions, of course, just like anything would. Anything that you're working on. Ooh, oh, it's trying to zoom. Let's see if it'll zoom in. Keep it away from your eyes, man. But anyways, here you could see, of course, all the warning labels and all the mixing instructions and stuff like that. So basically, this is not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not like the molding material. It's not like the casting material. This you have that much, and you're gonna use very little of this, and you'll see the mixture now. So a little goes a long way. Like I said, this will cover, this whole canister will cover, I don't know, a huge helmet or several helmets if you're working on that, or if you're working on body armor. It'll certainly cover that and then some. Alright, so that's gonna be my applicator. I need something a little bit stronger, so I'm gonna double up on this. And right now, that fume is not too bad. I'm just gonna mix it all up a little bit because the liquid needs to bond a little bit better with the actual putty. So that's not bad. That's not bad there. And again, like I said, the catalyst or the hardener, literally you just need a couple of drops of this. Like 2 drops. Let's go 3. And that's it. That's all you need to get this going. A lot of people, they start working with Bondo and it's like, hey, this thing never dries. It's like, you used it wrong. Did you get the hardener? What's that? It's like, right, okay. So you used it wrong. So obviously that now has the hardener, and I could start moving it around the surface. And so far so good. It's not melting, so that's a good sign. Usually it'll be a lot easier if you had like a flat. Actually, this might work better. Let's try this. So yeah, there we go. So I'm able to pick up a good bit of the Bondo and kind of spread it out this way. So usually what I do is I'll do a thin coat of Bondo over the surface of whatever it is that I want to work with. And as you can see, that little bit that we mixed up went really far. So not a bad deal. And just like it said, in 15 minutes it's sandable. That is not a lie. This stuff, once it cures, it cures. So you have a very short work time, but at the same time it's kind of cool because you could sand it down. So basically with this flat surface here, I don't want to have high ridges and stuff like that. I want to have pretty much an even just distribution of the material on the surface that you want to Bondo. Whew. Again, make sure you use your respirators. For the purpose of this demo, I'm not using mine. But if I'm going to continue working on this prop, I will definitely get my respirator. But that's pretty much it. That is Bondo. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit. Let's see if it'll cure up, and then I'll show you how it sands. How you could sand it down. Let's flip you over. There we go. So there you have it. Pretty painless, easy to work with. Just know that it does give off fumes, but this stuff is definitely worth its weight in gold. It's very light. It'll create a hard shell that you could sand down and create a prop with it. So it'll be really, really cool. It's already getting tacky, so I know that it's solidifying. And what I do with porous surfaces just like this one is, as you can see, it's a very light coverage, very light layer of Bondo, because I wanted to create a shell and then sand that down smooth, so when I apply more Bondo to this, it's a lot less sanding that I have to do. So I'll definitely show you that. We applied it just now, so it's definitely doing its chemical reaction. It's not melting the piece, which I'm really happy about, because that's gonna save me a lot of time making this particular prop. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, as you can see, I'll tell you a really funny story. Working on a helmet, the first time I was working on a helmet working with Bondo, I slipped up and put way too much of this, way too much of that. And I had this big glob of Bondo, and I put a lot of it because I was trying to save time. And as I'm mixing, I'm mixing the Bondo together. Let me bring this down a little bit. So I put a lot of the catalyst in, mixing this big glob of Bondo, and I'm trying to cut time, save time. I'm like, and all of a sudden I start noticing, I'm like, holy crap, you took. And I basically had a glob of Bondo on a wooden stick and couldn't do anything with it. So I basically just threw it away. And that's the key. Whenever you're working with this sort of stuff, you want that balance to work out just right. The balance between workable material and time. So you don't want to mix up a lot of this stuff and have it harden before you can even apply it to what it is that you're working on. So you want to work with small amounts of Bondo, with a small amount of hardener, and small areas. As you can see, I did not do the entire prop. I only did one part of it, and that's good enough for me. So later on, tomorrow or sometime during the weekend, I'll add some more and start creating that shell, sand it all down nice and smooth, so we start losing that porous texture that this foam has. And then I'll apply another layer, a little slightly thicker layer of Bondo to this, and it makes it all smooth, sandable, and it's great. So if you're working on that sort of stuff, whether it's armor or some kind of helmet, I'm actually going to use Bondo on my Destiny helmet, because right now I fiberglass the inside to kind of make it rigid because of the paper cura. So I created the helmet out of paper cura. I did the fiberglass on the inside, and then on the outside I'm gonna use Bondo to add all the details and stuff like that. I'll probably 3D print some pieces that are gonna go on the helmet. Then I'll have a master helmet that I can make a resin copy of. So it's the same process as this. No matter how big or small, you could definitely use Bondo and it'll work just fine. So right here, as you can see, it's already getting hard, and it's still a little bit tacky to the touch, but yeah, it's already drying. That's what I love about Bondo. You gotta work with it, in a certain way, you know, so you don't, like, again, I'll repeat it one more time. You never mix a lot of Bondo. You just bits and pieces, cover the area you want, and then keep working from there. So that is good. Bondo. So now, once this dries, I'll go over some of the sandpapers that I use to kind of get this where I need it to be. I'm not going to go completely ham on it because the problem is that I don't want it to differentiate from the old Bondo to the new. I want to cover it all uniformly and then sand it all down uniformly. So I'm just going to pick a little spot right here and I'm going to sand it down so you can kind of see that process and how it works. So we'll give that a few more minutes. And that is working with Bondo. And I still got my eye. Keep your eye protected, man. So let me grab my sandpaper real quick. I should have had it here ready, but I did not, and I apologize for that. So I'll be right back. So, interesting enough, this is the red cream hardener, and I didn't know I had it, so it's good to know. But this is what I was talking about. This is the red hardener. When you mix it with the gray, it kind of turns pink. You know Bondo's ready to go, and you could cover the surface. So if by chance you buy Bondo that does not have the catalyst in it, you could buy it on its own. So we have that. And now we'll talk about sandpaper. So what I do is I get sheets 8.5 by, I think, yeah, 8.5 by 11, so A8 or A6 paper. But anyways, I buy the package that has a variance. So it goes from like 200 to 1,000. And then I'll cut it down to squares because these squares is what fits my hand sander. And it's a lot easier to work with. So to start off with, I will do a 500. That might be too much, but anyways, this particular piece of sandpaper, right here, I'll actually cut it down to size. Hey, what's up, man? Nah, I'm fine, dude. It's my cousin. I'm good. Nothing crazy. But anyways, I'll cut these down to size. And of course, it'll tell you the grit right here. So this is 1,000. This is actually really, really fine to sand this down. Same thing. I don't want to sand too much because I'm indoors, but I usually do all my sanding and everything outside. You want to have nice ventilated area so this stuff doesn't fly around and hit you all over the place. And I'm kind of iffy about my eye and sanding right now. So I'll kind of do a demo, maybe not. We'll see. And I should have some pre-cut pieces already. The doggies are going crazy. Alright, so I thought I did, but I did not. And I'm out. Yep, looks like I'm out of my... So I have 1,000 and 1,200. Okay, so I'm out of my thicker grain, but it's okay. So basically, I just, I fold this down. Depending on the prop. This is a small prop, so I'll be using smaller squares. But I tend to, when I'm doing hand sanding, just cut in half. You cut in half and then fold it again. And this is what I use right here. So I tend, whenever I'm doing hand sanding, I like to have something, something like this. So I mean, it's simple. Sanding a lot of the times, like it's funny because Bill Duran from Punish Props, he says that 80% of the work that we do is sanding, and a lot of the sanding we don't show because it's extremely boring. You want to see me sand this thing for the next 12 hours? Probably not. So, but yeah, what you'll do is just, very finely start sanding it down, just like that. And with this sandpaper, you're not gonna take down much, but you get the idea. So you want to have a smooth surface with a bit rougher sandpaper, and then go, higher in grade. So you could do like a 400, 500, and then make your way up to, 600, 800, 1000, 1200. 1200 is probably overkill, but you get the idea. So this is pretty good. It's dried up pretty well, and like I said, if you have that, sandpaper, you just kind of bring down the high spots, and you can kind of feel it. This particular layer is very thin, so a lot of the Bondo has gone into the holes, and there's not a lot of surface. Even though it looks really porous, I'm rubbing my finger on it, and I can feel that it's smooth. So that's exactly what you want, because the second and third coat is going to cover this, and it's going to be completely smooth. So you're in good shape. But like I said, I don't want to do a lot of sanding inside my house, because that's going to just go everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. But that's pretty much it. That's the beginning of Bondo application on a foam object. So foam object, you cut out whatever you got to do, whatever shapes you need to do, and then you want to cover that with some kind of latex paint. It doesn't matter the color, doesn't really matter, because you're going to end up covering it with Bondo. So this is the first layer of Bondo that's already curing nicely. I don't have any real high spots that I have to worry about, but if there was, I would try to smooth it out as much as I can, or I would use an X-Acto knife to kind of shave that off when it's malleable. The putty will actually be malleable, and you can kind of shave those things off. I can kind of do a little bit of demo on that. There's a small piece there. There's a small piece there. And there's another one here. So you just you shave it down. There you go. You shave it down, and you keep going from there. So this is going to get one whole coat overall. Then it's going to keep building on the material, and then I will have a final product that we can continue building. So the wooden dowel is going to go here. The wings are going to go here. There's a butterfly in the front and the back. And then, of course, in the bottom, there's a small little heart. And she'll be able to hold this wand and do magic. So yeah, this will be a great prop for Sophia's cosplay at MegaCon. So if you're going to MegaCon and you see her running around, make sure you snap a picture and say, "Hey, your dad made that." And she'll be like, "I know." So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is a nice lesson in Bondo use. Get rid of these gloves. Again, like I said, the fumes weren't too bad. I did a small mixture. It's out of the way. It's well ventilated here. So we're good. We're good, but that's basically the way you would do it. You would just mix small batches, apply it to whatever you want to Bondo, or to make harden with Bondo, and the rest is sanding, priming, painting, sanding, priming, painting, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my crazy rant in the beginning. I wouldn't call it a rant. I was more just kind of getting it off my chest type deal. But I do appreciate you guys watching and listening, and supporting me and all you do. I'm gonna continue working on this prop. throughout the week. Maybe next week I'll have it finished. I don't know. It all depends on how my schedule goes, and we'll go from there. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting me up on the chat. I can see some text notifications on my phone. But yeah, everything's good. I'm back to normal. And we'll continue doing what we do. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. I'm everywhere on the internet, Bot10 Art, and I'll do my best to get those questions answered and provide whatever information I have. So with that said, again, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.